Savage Garden and the unmistakable voice of Darren Hayes, who actually, after the pair split up, went out on his own. Had a couple of solo CDs back in the late 1990s. Clock says 8:36. Make it 8:37 here in a couple of seconds. It's a Tuesday. It's time for Good Policies with Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. What's a CD, by the way?
Look over.
I know, all around us, actually, I could see examples of it. Yeah.
We still got a wall over here of CDs just in case we ever have to rip them back into the computer.
There you go.
Two things I want to talk about here. Love that picture you put up of your office decorated. Looks great on Facebook.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Ethan and I spent Friday, which was, Saturday, decorating our house and the office. Got it all done in one day, and it was great. He was my little helper the whole time. It was great.
Little big man. Hey, the other thing, it's Giving Tuesday. Mark Brain and I were talking about this earlier, and we got a lot of organizations around that are looking to help people throughout the holiday season, so we encourage everybody to give to their favorite. I would like to recommend the Northeast Kingdom Cancer Action Network as one recipient.
I thank you for that. Yeah, the Northeast Kingdom Cancer Action Network would be a great choice for Giving Tuesday today. Here's how you can do it. You can donate right on Facebook, by the way. We are an accepted nonprofit on Facebook. So, and you'll also notice if you're on Facebook, there's a way for you to set up your own kind of charitable Giving Tuesday event. You can choose any KCAN as that. I actually did it myself, and so far I've raised about $500 on my Facebook page. So, but if you don't want to do it that way, just go to nekcan.org and you can go ahead and donate right on the website. We would absolutely forever be in your debt, helping over 100 people who are fighting cancer in the Northeast Kingdom and continuing to help more every month. It takes a lot to do that, and we're putting all of our energy forth in making it happen.
Well, what I was excited to see is that it's coming back again as we flip the calendar to the year 2025. The very successful last year 80s night is coming up in February as a fundraising event as well.
Yeah, we love that event and looking forward to it. And everyone loves to get out their 80s garb and just jam out to the single name artists like Madonna. Good times, good times.
Billy Ray Cyrus and
no, that's three names.
Achy Breaky Heart. All right, so there's a suggestion on how to give on Giving Tuesday. And Mike, we've been talking about insurance and how to get the best out of your buck here for years on end here. One of the most common questions out there, and I remember this from our chats, is what is an appropriate deductible for any insurance coverage? Let's start with automobiles.
Awesome question. And what I'll preface this with, Jeff, is that many people, because, if you have been driving since you were 16, you've had auto insurance forever. I'm 49, you're 85, and I'm just kidding. We all have had insurance for 20, 30, 40 years. And it's not uncommon for people to just keep the deductibles they've always had. Now, the deductible you chose for your auto insurance back when you were 18, 19, 20 years old, you were a simple means back then, and you were going with a lower deductible because you were fearful that if you got into an accident, let's talk about comprehensive, which covers fire, theft, vandalism, impact with animals of glass, and more. That's the cheaper of the two evils. And so many people go with $0, $50, $100, or $250 deductibles. Made great sense when you didn't have a lot of excess money laying around if you got into an accident with that would trigger comprehensive coverage. For collision coverage, we see people as low as $100, $250, or $500. Of course, collision is impact that damages your car by hitting other property. Again, what made sense back then may not make sense anymore. And as we're seeing the rates rise, one of the great things you can do is increase your deductibles. It's a great way to save some immediate money. So if you have a $0 comprehensive deductible, go to $250. And then see if the company you're with has a $0 glass deductible option. Most of them do now. So it's still going to be a lot cheaper to do that than having the deductible you have currently. Most lien holders, loss payees, leasing companies, they will dictate how high you can go on deductibles on auto insurance. Typically, the maximum threshold is $1,000. Well, if you think you can swing $1,000 loss, then go to the $1,000 deductible if it is comfortable for you. This is a personal decision, a deductible choice. So, but check and see what it would be. You could see maybe $400, $500, $600 savings or more, depending on the way that you're being rated. If you have youthful operators and so on and so forth, it's really a good way to see if you can save some money.
So I guess the basic math here is a little bit higher deductible will make a little bit lower payment.
Absolutely. So rather than going with lower liability or lower medical payments, go with higher deductibles because you have more control over that because you know how much you can afford if you need it. Plus, it helps prevent the need for a nuisance type claim. So, the example being a few weeks ago, I mentioned how I rear-ended somebody. I got the estimate. It's a $600 repair. So I'm really lucky because usually they're a lot more than that. My deductible personally is $500 for collision. Yeah, sure, I could file a claim and get $100 from my insurance, but why? I don't want to put a blemish on my insurance by having that, so I'm just going to pay all out of pocket for it, which makes me go, maybe $1,000 deductible would make more sense for my situation, right? So even we have that thought. And as we shift to homeowners, we're starting to see some companies mandate their lowest deductible, and it's higher than it used to be. Some companies for many years had always had a deductible as low as 0, 100, 250, 500. We don't see the below 500 deductibles really at all anymore. Many companies went to the minimum deductible of $1,000, and we've got a few that have now jumped that up to $2,500. I will say that depending on the risk, you may not see as much of an offset of cost by going from $1,000 to $2,500 or from $2,500 to $5,000. So that's more of a personal choice of, hey, here's what I would feel comfortable with if I'm filing a claim that I wouldn't go any lower than this amount. So maybe going with a higher deductible makes sense. But if you have a 0, 100 or 250 deductible on your home or 500 even, increase it because you're going to see a nice little offset of cost.
Well, it only takes a quick little phone call too to get that, to get that information. By calling and saying to your insurance agency, "Hey, Mike, I was wondering if I raised up to $1,000 deductible on my 2014 Silverado, what's that going to do?"
Yeah,
doesn't cost a thing.
No, and I could say, "Hey, it's going to save you $60. Is saving $60 worth it to you?" And you can go, "No, it's not." But then keep it as it is. I could say, "Yeah, it's going to save you $300. $300 savings worth it to you?" Yes, it is. Because we don't know the number, right? It's a hypothetical here, but a lot of times, especially on the homeowner side, if somebody's going from a $500 deductible to a $1,000 deductible, you could oftentimes see a $300 or $400 savings immediately. And I love the thought that you had. It's nothing to call. Call and ask. You may decide you like your deductibles because you're not going to see enough of an offset of cost, or you may go, "Man, I've been paying too much for way too long. Let's do that." So not a bad thing to consider.
Well, as you always encourage people to have the conversation, how can they with you?
Sure. You can give us a call, 748-5224. Find our office right on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. Online, thebarrettagency.com. Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Just look for Barrett Insurance Agency. Giving Tuesday, give to your favorite charity. They're all deserving, all of them, without a doubt. But I would like you to give it to us, if you can, nekcan.org. So.
All right. Thanks an awful lot. Good Policies with Magic in the Morning, Tuesdays at 8:35. Headed to music for King and Country.